Hey guys, I hope you're doing well and welcome back to my channel, and today I am joined again by my wonderful boyfriend Steven, and I thought it would be cool if we did a video first of all discussing the Switch Lite, which was obviously revealed last week by Nintendo, and also just talk about some stuff that has been shown that will be in Sword and Shield, which is coming out in about 4 months now. So yeah, he's very excited, as you can tell by his face, and like so am I. The Switch Lite was shown by Nintendo last week, and I think we all kind of knew this was coming, but they just kind of dropped it. They were just like, here's the new Switch Lite.
It was almost literally like
20th of September.
It's almost literally like they had the box with it in and just dropped it. I'm like, oh,
basically,
well,
yeah.
Might as well do it now.
And like, yeah, like I said, we all kind of knew this was coming for a while. But there's been a lot of mixed reviews about it, and I thought it'd be interesting because we're kind of like on the opposite ends. I'm very pro Switch Lite and you're not so sure.
I'm not so sure. I don't want one.
So for like, what is your reasonings for not wanting the Switch Lite or being interested in it?
Okay, so the Switch Lite doesn't have value to me because I already have a console that can connect to the TV and also be handheld.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah, just so you know, we both have Switches, so we already have 2 Switches in our household. So you know, you probably wouldn't think we would need a Switch Lite, but I'll obviously go into my reasons later on.
But I don't really take mine out that often. Most times I take it out is when we're going to a hotel or when we're going
travelling somewhere.
Yeah. And I put it in a case with the dock and things, and I take the dock with me. So I don't really use mine as a handheld system.
No, you don't. He plays exclusively on the TV.
Almost exclusively.
I'm the opposite to that.
I did play Let's Go handheld because that's the way you're supposed to play Let's Go.
Yeah, and the Pokeball Plus is, sorry, just crap.
It looks great.
It's a terrible controller. It's so bad on the...
Awful. I knew it was going to be awful, by the way. Yeah. I called it. But I think that the Switch Lite has some really good functionality for people who... Well, let's get the first thing out of the way. Thank you. Let's get the first thing out of the way. It is roughly £100 cheaper.
It's £199, so it's about £80 cheaper because the Switch is about...
They should have done it 100, but...
Yeah, I agree with that too.
But for some people, the Switch in its current state is £280.
It's a lot of money.
It's too much money for some people, and this makes the Switch experience more affordable.
It does.
And yeah, go on.
Well, in the trailer they showed a lot of adults who are mainly travelling on the go, and I really think this is the target demographic because honestly, you could buy it for your child, but the Switch Lite is basically like a stripped back version of the Switch. It's just like, here's a Switch without the kind of switchy Joy-Cons, without the rumble, without the fancy stuff. And personally, I don't use my Switch on the TV at all. I play mine exclusively handheld, so I don't care that it doesn't dock or anything like that. Which obviously, this is the thing, people are like, oh, but it's not got any of this stuff. Like, they had to change it somehow to make it lighter and stuff. This is what they did with the 2DS. They took out the 3D,
which no one uses.
Which no one even uses anyway, to be honest. But I suppose people are like, well, what makes the Switch Lite special and worth buying if it hasn't got any of the good stuff in it? I don't play mine on the TV whatsoever, so first of all, that's perfectly fine for me. I don't care that it doesn't dock. I don't care if I'm not bothered if it doesn't have the rumble function or like the camera function. Oh, I can see the postman. Sorry, I've been waiting for the postman all day. I have a big Pokemon plushie coming in the mail, so that's why. But yes, back on topic. Yeah, I don't care if it doesn't have the fancy stuff. Also, it's obviously a lot smaller than the Switch because it's lighter, which makes it easier to take about. I don't necessarily take it outside so much. I'd probably be more inclined to, but I don't have very like strong wrists and stuff, so honestly, I think a lot of people may find this a lot more beneficial if it's much lighter and easier on your wrists, because the Switch itself can be quite kind of big and like clunky.
It is quite. It's a bit of a unit, isn't it?
It's a big console, and I like my 2DS XL and stuff like that because it's
lighter.
It's obviously lighter than the Switch. Sorry, that was my shoulder that just clicked. Like, oh my god. So I personally like it for that. Yeah, because I don't play it on the TV. It doesn't matter if the Joy-Cons don't come off. So honestly, I quite like that. It's just it's got everything that I need it to do. And if I didn't have a Switch, I probably would get a Switch Lite, but I've already got one. And also they come in really nice colours, which they should have done from the start.
They should have done.
Like,
you should have had more options of Joy-Cons.
Yeah, obviously there are more Joy-Cons, but they cost like £80 each, which nobody's going to pay for. I see them in CX all the time.
Yeah, well, they're £40 in CX, but still.
For like one.
Yeah, it's silly.
Stupid, and I would be very happy to pay £200 for a pretty yellow or turquoise one. And I think there is potential for a really nice Animal Crossing one, because we've obviously got the Sword and Shield Switch Lite coming. So I'm personally very excited for it, because it's kind of, I like consoles, but I don't like them to be too fancy with too many like features, because it doesn't confuse me. But
so I was having a chat with Jonathan Holmes from Destructoid, if you know Destructoid. And he said, I'll read his tweet, it was 6 days ago, so it was the 11th. So for the first time since the pre-Game Boy days, Nintendo won't be supporting two entirely different forms of hardware of their own design. The Switch is a huge hit, but compared to the Wii and DS days, they've shrunk a lot. He then also said, it looks like Nintendo was hoping that mobile would take the place of their dedicated handheld market, which is probably true. But other than Pokemon Go, their mobile titles haven't done anything to bring in the kind of money that the DS brought them. That's partly because Super Mario Run is boring. I haven't downloaded Dr. Mario World because I just want Dr. Mario. Because if I could get it for my Switch, I'd have bought it, but I can't. It has to be on iOS or Android, and I don't want more stuff cluttering up my phone. I deleted Pokemon Go because I don't need phone games. So I was replying to him about the Switch Lite, and I said I was unsure, but Katie pointed out.
Yeah, we had like an in-depth discussion as soon as this was.
Yeah. So the games she likes to play, and the market this is aimed at.
I forgot to say this. Apparently, it can only support handheld games, which is kind of the stuff that I already play. So I'm not bothered about that as well. And
the main titles, I can't think of other than Mario Party.
Yeah. And
even then, I'm not sure. Other than Mario Party, I don't think any of the big hits have, take the Joy-Con out.
No, I don't think
or TV mode exclusively.
I feel like Nintendo would do that deliberately just so they can reach a larger market and stuff. And they knew the Switch Lite was going to be a thing, so they had that in mind.
And also, the market this is aimed at and the type of games you play don't actually use any of the unique features of the console.
Yeah, they don't.
Let's be fair. Realistically, controllers haven't moved on so much from the DualShock 2 from PlayStation. You've got two analog sticks, a D-pad, face buttons, shoulder buttons, start and select. Some of them have the home button, some of them are USB rechargeable. These aren't gameplay things. Gameplay is now stuck on the DualShock format, right? So the rumble, everything else isn't necessary.
It's not really, honestly, I find it quite annoying.
And in handheld mode, which is how a lot of people are playing these games, those features are actually annoying. They're
very annoying. I can tell you that for a fact.
Yeah.
Especially on with PlayStation.
And also, a lot of young adults don't have TVs.
No.
Well, a lot of us watch stuff on Netflix. A lot of stuff us use computer monitors.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we have TV, but we don't watch TV on it. So.
No, we watch Netflix, sometimes YouTube.
Yeah, I know. Before I moved in with Steve and stuff, I had a TV, but I didn't touch it. Like, I didn't really bother with it.
You only used it when I lent you some Marvel movies and a DVD player. Like, just
basically, yeah.
That's not a.
So
impact
this is why in the trailer you see a lot of young adults on the go, like working, stuff like that. Because I think this is really the target demographic, and yeah, kids might want this too. But
well, that's another thing I was going to say. The Switch as a family console, you get two controllers out of the box.
It's really good.
And most of the main games that have come out, including Captain Toad, I think with Captain Toad you can play it with one Joy-Con, can't you?
Yeah.
So you can actually just have most of the big games that are out. Smash Bros, Mario Kart 8, Breath of the Wild. No, not Breath of the Wild, but most of the big games that have come out that are multiplayer, you've already got controllers for that. You don't need to buy extra controllers.
Exactly.
So it's perfect for families. But
for people like my age, especially who maybe are at uni and stuff, like, and they don't have, you know, £300 to fork out on a console, you know.
£200 is more manageable.
I think this is a lot. I think this is a really good option.
The other thing to point out is that if you've got 2 kids who are both really interested in Pokemon, right, it would cost you £560 to have 2 normal Switches.
You can't each play your own save file on a Switch at the same time, so, you know.
And it's £400 for 2 Switch Lites. Or if you've already got a Switch, it's only another £200.
I say only £200. I do realise that it's probably...
It's a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money to pay for, like, one console. I get that.
It's a lot of money to pay for my car to have its MOT done. Like, that's what it cost me, you know.
But, yeah, but it is probably a more feasible option.
Exactly. It's more affordable. It's not actually affordable.
Yeah. And I think a really important thing to remember is that just because you're not necessarily the target demographic doesn't mean it's not good or it's going to be bad. Like, it's just not aimed for you specifically, and that's fine. Like, you know, this is what...
There's one thing I'm slightly disappointed with.
What's that?
I'm slightly disappointed that it can't connect to the TV.
Yeah, I mean...
Because...
that would be good as long as it could connect to TV somehow and just not dock, but I don't see how that could quite work up there.
Well, if it had a dock of some kind, right, and you could just use a controller with it, because controllers, like, you can buy a controller for about £20, right, which again is not an insignificant amount of money, but still, this is the cheapest controllers I've ever been.
Yeah.
A controller's never been 20 quid in my life.
Yeah.
So a controller's 20 quid, and if I could just plug it into the TV and not use the Joy-Con, so I'd have to buy an extra controller, that's still saving me money. You see what I mean? And
that is very true, yeah, this is the thing, and also people...
And then I would be able to play the non-handheld games.
I know I was talking to someone on Twitter this morning and they were like, oh, but my Joy-Cons have broke like 6 times. Personally, I've not had an issue with my Joy-Cons breaking, probably because I don't take them in and out a lot. But I know for some people they're concerned that if like a Joy-Con breaks, then they can't just replace it. They have to then get the whole system sent in to Nintendo, which I get that could be a problem, but we don't know yet. We don't know. Maybe they've been working on it. Let's just hope that this is something they've already foreseen and they do their best to prevent it as much as possible.
It's very fortunate that controllers are so cheap, because I've had 3. I'm on my 3rd, I should say, Pro controller that's GameCube shaped, and I've had to do that because the right analog stick keeps breaking. And in fact, on my red Joy-Con, which is the right Joy-Con...
Oh yeah, you said, yeah.
That one drifts as well. It's not as bad as how the...
It's weird, I've not had an issue, but I suppose for some people they have. But this happens with every console. Like, people had trouble with their, like, 3DSs and 2DSs where, like, the D-pad would break and fly off and stuff, so...
Oh yeah, my circle pad, you can take the little... You can actually take the rubber bit off.
It's just a thing that's going to happen.
Or the rat will.
With consoles, unfortunately. But yeah, no, I'm personally really excited for the Switch Lite.
I'm excited for people... I'm not excited for it. I don't want it. I have absolutely no need for it. But as Joe from Sarabee said, if you've already got a Switch, you don't need to buy a Switch Lite. There's nothing in it that you don't already have. But if you don't have a Switch, you now have a more, but not actually affordable, but a more affordable method of obtaining it.
Yeah. No, I think that'd be...
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm quite excited for it, I have to say. Yeah, it comes out the 20th of September, and it comes in the colours yellow, turquoise, grey, and there's also the exclusive Sword and Shield Switch Lite, which is launching in November just before the game comes out. So yeah,
I really like that one.
It is really nice. I like the pink and the blue detailing, but it's just kind of a bit dull, the grey, so I'm probably going to go for the yellow one, to be honest. Yeah.
I've just thought of something.
What's that?
Why don't Nintendo not sell like limited edition Switches, right, but just sell limited edition Joy-Cons? Because if you could get...
That would be cool.
Because the yellow and brown ones for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, they have... The Switch has Eevee and Pikachu on the back. But they could easily do 2 green ones for Animal Crossing with a different character on it, or different coloured buttons or something.
That would be pretty cool.
Thinking off the top of my head, I've not really totally relate to what I'm talking about. But
I mean, I think they definitely are going to bring out an AC Switch Lite, but I'm too impatient to wait for that. I mean, Sword and Shield are coming out in like 4 months, so, which we're personally very excited for. But yeah, this whole bring back the national dex thing is getting a bit out of hand, and I know some of you guys probably have your opinions on it, so please tell me down below. I'm very interested, and also leave your opinions down below about the Switch Lite, and that would be very good as well. Personally, we're not too bothered by it.
I was bothered by it. I'm going to be really honest. I was bothered by it.
Yeah, I think at first you would be like, oh, this is bad, but...
Until I read a thread by Jubilee Blaze, and she was saying that we really need the meta to be shaken up.
We do. It's very dull.
Some people are still using that. Ever since Gen 4, when we got the physical special split, people have been using their same Charizard and taking it from Diamond and Pearl. Some have even been taking it from...
like GBA games.
Yeah, GBA games.
And like...
No, we need it shaken up.
People were complaining a lot about how, oh, I can't have the same Charizard that I've had for like 10 years, but I mean, it's kind of had to happen in a way.
It's got to go.
Unfortunately, yeah, there's only 1,000 Pokemon, so it's kind of hard to create models for every single one and like just not kill the staff in the process. I'm
gonna make a prediction now.
Mm-hmm.
Every single Mega Pokemon is gonna be in it, because I'm really reckoning that when a Pokemon, so we've got Dynamax and Gigantamax. I'm reckoning when you Dynamax a Pokemon that has a Mega Evolution, it's just going to look like the Mega.
Yeah, and just because I haven't got every Pokemon in it doesn't mean it's going to be a bad game. We have lots of new Pokemon coming in it, so I think all of us are going to be focused on that. And like from the Pokedex I've seen, they've got a good mix of Pokemon. Like there's plenty of Gen 4, so we're happy about that. We've got Gallade, we've got my fave, so
we've got my favourite Pokemon in there,
and I think
so it'd be really easy for people to be like, well, you've got your favourite, so why aren't obviously you're not upset about it.
I don't know. I think it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. I mean, like I said, I think when you're playing the game, you're going to be more focused on the new Pokemon, the new features, like.
Well, you should be.
Yeah, to be honest, rather than crying about how we don't have every Pokemon, and like it's gotten to the point where they're like sending death threats to Game Freak, and I'm just like, whoa, that is just crazy.
It's silly.
Like,
it's not going to accomplish anything.
It's not. No, it's not. It's a game to us. It's a game. Like, it's not the end of the world. We're bound to have every Pokemon back in future games. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if the Dynamax raids are a way of getting Pokemon that weren't there back into the game. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep updating it. I wouldn't be surprised if as soon as Pokemon Home hits, we're going to get an update like you'll be able to have all your other Pokemon in. I wouldn't be surprised if you're able to battle through Pokemon Home.
Yeah, so no, there's like so many other cool things to look forward to, like, because like we're getting a Pokemon Switch game, like that's the coolest thing ever. We've been waiting for this, and instead of people deciding to cry about this one thing that they can't have, like, unfortunately, like sometimes sacrifices have to be made. And
Sun and Moon didn't have a national dex.
No, we didn't have. Yeah, it didn't. So I'm not too hung up about this, to be honest. Like,
and then the Pokemon Bank became the national dex.
Exactly. Yeah. So no, either way, it's gonna be a great game, and like I'm very excited for it. I'm personally gonna be picking Sobble, and I think you're going for Score Bunny.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously, yeah, because you're a bunny person, but yeah. But feel free to leave your opinions and views about the whole bring back national dex situation. Also, your opinions on the Switch Lite. I think I'm going to leave that here for today. Thank you for joining us for our little discussion about what's been going on in the Nintendo world. I hope you'll have a wonderful day, and we will see you all again very soon. Bye.